Cheers! Welcome to my channel. Thank you for showing up. I really want to thank you for the subscribes, the likes, any comments, feel free to share. It really is empowering me to build my channel. And this is a collective reading, a general reading from Tattletales, from Tales from the Vector. I've already shuffled the cards. I'm going to do some cuts here, and then we are going to get started. Recognize that this is a collective or general reading, which means that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. So take what works for you and leave the rest. So we have the Five of Wands with the underlying energy here. So this card is about competition, and it's about being mature about competition. And really the best advice this card gives is that, don't compete with competition, learn from it, and then compete with yourself to do better. For example, this YouTube channel, I'm on a real major learning curve, and today I learned 2 new things. Not really from the competition, but the competition within myself with understanding technology. And it was a really good day that way. I learned a lot, and I will apply that, and then you become better and better as you do that. Because it's my goal to improve. And I'm just double checking that this card is lined up properly, and it is. Sorry about that. So we're beginning the reading off with this competitive energy, and this is sometimes like the Mean Girls card. This is, maybe you may have, or someone else may have, an immature attitude about competition. So let that go, especially these days with all the AI technology out there. We're all on a big learning curve, and there's a lot of events happening in the world that it will really better benefit us to get in this attitude of, okay, I'm willing to learn. I'm not going to concern myself too much, beat myself up for my mistakes. This is right now, the planet, the universe is asking people to really be willing to experiment to make things better, because the old ways apparently are not working. So the energy here is about getting into, to begin the reading, is about getting into the right mindset is what's coming up. We have, this person has been battling, it could be with others with this here, or it could be with himself. He could be in a position where he's been through 2 battles that he had to deal with, and just finished the 3rd one. And he has 2 more swords here that he will use if he needs to. The swords in the tarot represent they're double-edged swords representing the mind. And so being able to use your mind to work for you rather than against you. Not getting caught up is what's coming up. We'll see where this is going. Right, what I was saying, this energy has been so strong coming in for me personally, because I wasn't even aware when people start YouTube channels after 70% of people who start a channel quit after 5 uploads. Because it's really intimidating to put yourself out there when you realize, I don't know what I'm doing. So the only way to either quit or you overcome that overthinking, and you learn. You do your best to learn. You sign up with other people who already are successful at what they're doing. You ask for advice, and you use that advice to improve your performance. And when you do that, bang, the Wheel of Fortune kicks in. And really what this Wheel of Fortune is about, the past and the present and the future. And it's all rolled into one. That's why a general reading, you could be at a different stage than other people that are watching this. And the people that are watching it right now aren't necessarily the only energies coming in, because if someone else is watching this a year from now, they're part of that collective. Because the only place where we actually do have time is, in the physical sense, is on the planet, on Earth. Yes, and then we have the High Priestess coming in. So this is cool. This is basically saying things will shift for you. And these swords could be the past, the present, or the past, the present, and the future. And he's just fought this battle in the present and ready to move on with the future. And then the Wheel of Fortune comes up and it's spinning, and the High Priestess shows up, and the High Priestess is actually the second card in the Major Arcana. And she shows up right at the beginning of the journey pretty much, and she is saying, you know, she's sitting in between these two pillars, and they represent extreme opposites. And she's highly intuitive. She's very close to God. This is basically saying the journey is easier if you're balanced in the center, and that also I'm getting is in your own center, and then also following your destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is all about destiny, and because the High Priestess is so intuitive, she catches the synchronicities that show up as she's going along, and those synchronicities, she doesn't. People who don't believe in, they believe in coincidence, not synchronicity, rarely get to manifest with synchronicity. So it's a choice you make. Yes, and the Moon card is about hidden secrets. And it's coming up, like there's also these two pillars here, and it's saying, the Moon card is saying, stay on your journey, don't fall for any illusions, you know. And the High Priest, like the High Priestess, you see that? The two pillars on either side, this is saying, keep going, don't, you know, like take on, the water down here represents emotions. So it's being willing to take off that shell, you know, being willing to fail and then move forward on your path regardless of it. And it also is saying, like, freedom is discipline of the mind. And that's what this is. This is a card of overthinking. And we have both the sun and the moon here. So it's basically like an eclipse. And astrologically, we have eclipses, but I'm just getting that in this instance, because we're not in eclipse season, that this is about to be able to follow your destiny, you have to be willing to go into that inner battle with yourself and really use your logic and your intuition to be able to discipline your mind, to have freedom and to move forward with what you want. This bottom row is all about, do you have what you need to move forward on the journey you want to? And the Queen of Cups shows up. And so the Queen of Cups is holding this cup, and it's got a lid. So that lid represents that she is able to contain energy. She can hold a lot of energy for a lot of people. She comes from the heart. She's very maternal. Of all the queens, she's the most maternal. She loves children. She loves animals. She's family orientated, and she's very focused on just not only her own needs, but how can she contain all the love that she has and bring that into fruition for those around her. We have soulmates coming in. This is the Two of Cups. This soulmate card can be regarding two people that are soulmates that are meeting, because we have the Queen of Cups. She's ready for marriage. She's ready to start a family if she doesn't have one already. And this card can also represent you and your higher self, like going into your intuition. If you want to follow your destiny, you need to be balanced in your masculine and feminine energies. And you need to also be able to be balanced in the spiritual world as well as the physical world. You need to be able to be what I call on the HSN, the Higher Self Network. Works like just like it does down here on Earth, but it's when you're you're asking advice like the High Priestess does. She's very close to God and is able to ask those questions. What is my destiny? Where should I be going? That kind of energy. And as I said, it can also represent two people. We also have, on this hidden aspect, we have the wild dog and the domestic dog. So it could be making a choice about whether this person wants to, really in the mind about a choice of, do I want to domesticate myself? Because perhaps he's in a relationship with someone and this person wants to settle down and start a family. It's a big decision to make. And yes, then the celebration card comes in. And so these people are celebrating, and this card represents, it can represent the best things in life are three. So there could be a decision coming in here, thinking about this decision to maybe start a family. And the only thing about this card that bothers me is that they're having a celebration and they're toasting each other, but no one's looking at each other. And so sometimes this card can actually represent threesomes, or it can represent like energy stopping. Maybe there's something, it's just coming up, there's something heavy on this person's mind that might be standing in the way of this. So we'll look into it some more. Yeah, because the energy, like, we've got the competition. So perhaps this is a person that can't choose between two people. Remember, these are archetypes. So when we have the cards coming in, male or female, they could just be representing masculine and feminine energy. So we've got like, the competition card, which is also like my mean girls card. And a lot of that is errant energy. It can be psychic energy coming in from unsatisfied ancestors or descendants, and of how things turned out, and which way are you going to go? Are you going to be in this energy of how your ancestors did it, or are you going to step out in your own way, in a new way? And that's been the underlying energy for a lot of the readings lately, and that is an astrological influence right now, because we have Neptune, which it takes a long time for its rotation, and 165 years, and it's been in Pisces, and it's kind of been wobbling back and forth between Pisces and Aries, and now it just in this time right now, it's settled into Aries, and that's where it's staying, and that's all about rebirth and about new. And it's the infant of the zodiac. So, that's why this energy of, maybe we're going to start a family is coming in. And so we'll see, we'll read some more cards here and just see what's happening. And then we have the Tower coming in. So there's some sort of a reality check. And the reality check is like, the lightning strikes the tower and knocks the people out of them. Sometimes this card can represent being in a position where you're at the top of the pedestal and there's only one place to go because the energy became stagnant. It can also, in my oracle, the Tower card is the divorce card, and the worst divorce is from source. If you're not in alignment with your destiny, what you came on the earth here to do and be, you could fall for illusions and perhaps marry the wrong person, or get involved in activities that you wish you wouldn't have later. And so this is coming in and saying, don't overthink it. Like, use both your intuition and your mind. Having said that, make sure you're in your reality, that you're not, falling for any illusions. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, clarifying the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Queen of Cups is very abundant, and the soulmates coming together could create the situation of the Nine of Cups, which you only have one more cup to go. And this is, if you know Nikola Tesla, this is the energy of Nikola Tesla coming in, of the 369, and the beauty of the balance of it. There's 3 coins in the bush to give away. There's 9 coins that she's holding on to. And then she's also using a falcon here to go and research and get information. So this is basically saying, knowing how much to give and take and to keep for yourself so that you can continue to move forward in a strong way, and getting the information that you need so that you don't fall for any illusions. And then we have the Empress. And you notice these are quite similarly robed. So being in this 369 energy will allow this person to upgrade into being into the Empress energy. So the Empress energy is also about manifestation, and that's what this second role is. This is about, okay, what do you have and what do you need to move forward? And this is about, okay, what obstacles do you need to overcome and to be able to bring this into manifestation. You notice how similar they are. So by this person recognizing that they want to follow their destiny and checking in with their intuition as well as their mind, is allowing them, that could be this energy together, to move forward, whether that's a marriage or starting a family or whatever this is, because the Empress also represents pregnancy and pregnant with possibilities. So this energy of, it could be 2 people, or it could be a person that's in touch with their higher self now, has done a reality check, and they're moving in. The Empress is all 4 of the queens rolled into one person. The Empress energy represents the feminine aspect of being able to produce, and she produces with ease. She doesn't have to work really hard. Like, that's what's coming up is, producing, manifesting, it's not supposed to be hard if you're on the correct trajectory in your journey, that it will, if you're on the right path, that will be a more easy, and the Chariot is coming in. So the Chariot is confirming that this energy, it's really powerful on the top here. We did have the Tower, which bothers some people because it's, it's definitely something that is a reality check. Something's happened, it's been sudden. But I'm getting that sudden energy was required for this sudden energy to come in, because the Chariot represents moving forward on your journey, and it's starting to happen really quickly now because you're following your destiny. And you notice there's no reins here because God is in charge of the reins. The universe is directing this. And then we have the King of Wands coming in. So the King of Wands is known to be visionary, and you can see the King of Wands is looking to the future. I'm building a pyramid here, so this is moving up the steps, and the King of Wands is looking ahead, visionary. He's got that wand in his right hand. He's ready to use it. This represents fire. You see all the salamanders in the background. This king is ready to, you can just see, you can see his, just the way he's sitting, that he's kind of impatient. So this energy is very fiery. This is someone that is really admired for their entrepreneurial sense and their ability to be very innovative. And the salamanders represent protection from fire. So when the king doesn't make a move, he's containing himself. He's learned to contain that fiery energy and use it wisely so that he doesn't burn himself out. And that brings us into the star energy, which is about being ready to shine. And the Empress shines. All 4 queens rolled into one. And it looks like they might be teaming up with a King of Wands. And so they will, this brings in this star energy of being able to pour with one vessel into the waters and she's got her toe dipped into the waters, and the other one on land. So about being able to, whatever she's pouring into the earth here is the energy of what she's going to bring onto the planet, and then benefiting the universe with it. And the tower and the star follows the tower in the deck. So quite often the star will show up after the tower, because it is about a new way of doing things. It's about moving forward in an innovative way. That's why the king showed up and looking in that direction right at the star. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles sitting on top there. So I'm getting that this could be talking about the different, because we already have two queens here. This could be, and we have the High Priestess. So this is talking about all these qualities that this Empress has, generating this energy. And so the King, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles is actually a really good combination, because she's focused on quality over quantity, and he might have a tendency to, he's a go-getter, like, shift or get off the pot. So he's like, he's got that entrepreneurial spirit, and he wants to go do. And she's more about really going inward and looking like, is this going to benefit us? Because Pentacles don't only mean money, they also mean abundance in health, wealth, happiness, all-rounded abundance, quality over quantity. And that's what she's focused on. It's a nice balance. The queens and the kings represent, male and female, but this could be a woman that's in her masculine energy, and this could be a man in feminine energy, just depending on your situation. Or it could be one person bringing all these elements together. It feels, though, like with the soulmate card, that this is could be about a relationship. And then this is conviction beyond a doubt. So because this is on top of the King of Wands, this energy is about, having planted these 6 wands, and they're and being up on top of the hill, and he's going to fight for what he's already implemented if he has to. He's got that one wand across his heart, and that's the wand. It's sitting on the basically this energy is sitting on the Wheel of Fortune, moving forward with the Chariot, using intuition as well as action. So it makes, this is conviction beyond a doubt. This is the direction that I'm taking. I'm willing to fight for it, just like down here, if I have to. And then we have the Hierophant. The Emperor. Wow, look at that. So them getting together in this manner and having this attitude, we now have the Emperor with the Empress. And the Emperor is all 4 kings rolled into one. So this is really a very powerful couple that, they've been there, done that. And between the two of them, they have the ability to really, really produce, for the planet, for themselves, for their families, for the entire universe. Because he will, all this innovation and this action energy that he is bringing in, and the feminine energy is magnetic. It attracts abundance, and the masculine energy is electric. So it causes, the lightning bolt and the forward movement. It's about action. The Emperor is all about performance. And here we have this or that, the 2 different ways of doing things. There's a new moon in the background here. And the new moon represents when there's a new moon, it's a good time to begin a project or, a new relationship, etc. It's talking about the new. And I'm just getting with this, sometimes this card represents that there's only 2 ways it's either this or that. And the person can't see any different, but because it's with the Emperor and the Empress, I feel like it's the two of them coming together, and not seeing any limitations is more how this is coming with the new moon. It's about them putting their energy together, holding it close to their heart, and moving forward in it's just like not concerned about the future. They know that they'll put the work in, they'll put the time, the energy into it, and together they feel really strong. Yeah, rowing off. This is the Six of Swords is rowing off from rough shores to calmer shores. This is about, in this reading, I feel like it's about recognizing how they want to do things, like how they want their life to be. And they don't care if they have to start all over from scratch, because they know that they have the ability to manifest very quickly. In particular, when they're together, you know, they can let go. They're not going to concern themselves about the competition. The king, or the emperor in particular, does not worry about competition. The emperor is a leader, and he inspires the competition to have the conviction to do things his way, and it empowers more than just him, his business, his family. It empowers everyone. Yeah, that's the Magician coming in. So the Magician is the first card that comes out on the Fool's journey, and after the Fool comes out, and then the High Priestess. So this is talking about bringing the magic in, that is represented, this intuitive ability, the infinite potential, using all the tools that, because he has all four qualities of the tools on the table. He's got the pentacle, he's got the cup, he's got the sword, and the wand, and so does the Empress. So you can see how powerful that would be. The Magician is onward ho, pointing with the right hand, you know, keep ascending. And because this is the heart's desires coming in, this is the courage of being able to leave old ways behind and move forward to calmer waters with heart desire. And that's what the Magician's pointing to. This represents rowing off to calmer waters in your destiny with God, as you're, you know, like surrendering to what you came on the planet to do. Yeah, and the Queen of Swords is coming in, and it's just saying that it required an ability to be able to cut through any bullshit, to be very clear in the mind. And then now you see her head is above the clouds. It's about being independent, being able to move forward and that's kind of how the Emperor is, that energy, and the Empress. They are not afraid to go it alone. When they get together, though, they can really, you know, it's 1 + 1 = infinity. That's the soulmate. This is like a very powerful couple. And then we have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, there's 3 cups there that this person is sort of staring at, and they look like they're disappointed. But they've gone up to higher ground, and this is where the universe is stepping in and saying, hey, here's this cup. Why don't you take this cup, and then you'll be able to move forward on your journey. So that's about the Queen being able to say, okay, the Queen of Swords, I'm going to cut through all this chatter in my mind and move forward with this 4th cup, which will add to these 3, or these 3, just let them go and just do it this way instead. It depends on the situation. Yes. And letting go of the burdens right here. So what this is saying is that, you know, sometimes what we do is these wands, every single one of those wands is something that has been something that this person has worked on. So he's planted the seeds for those wands, and he's done the harvest, and he's so close to being where he wants to be. But they're in front of him, and sometimes this can represent burdens that don't belong to us, that we're carrying for other people, and making the decision of, or that some of the things that we wanted in the past have now become a burden, and just being willing to put some of them down if need be, and just carry on with the wands that are going to work for us. And that brings in the Three of Pentacles. This is a card about collaboration, and this person has mastered their skill set, which makes sense with the Empress and the Emperor, and moving forward with conviction, without doubt, and putting down any burdens that would prevent them to be able to collaborate with others that can lift them up. And so this is mastery of a skill set. It's also mastery over emotions and all of that energy, which is also represented by the King and Queen, which is pretty cool. And then the Page of Swords comes in. Yeah, and the Page of Swords is like a younger version of the Page of Knights. And so he's like pretty la-di-da. He's not even looking at the sword. This means that he's like the King of Wands here. He's innovative and he's looking forward. He's not caught up in his thoughts. He's more caught up in his action. This can also represent like just the stance that he's in, of someone who golfs, and this energy represents people that have the financial ability to move forward with what they want to do. They have the skill set, they've put the work in, and it's basically about, is this going to be a hole-in-one? That's what's coming up. Yeah. And then we have the Eight of Swords, or is, this old energy of immature competition going to create a problem? So this is talking about the balance that we all kind of go through with our logic and the way we were raised and the way things are supposed to be done, and that can cause us a lot of burdens if we let that go and just focus on mastering whatever it is that we want to do, and moving forward in that energy, and being really optimistic, like the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords just knows he's going to get that hole-in-one. And that, and basically, I'm getting what this card is saying, because it's so close to this one, is that, like golf is a real mental game. And you're in competition with yourself. You're not in competition with other people. So step out of that way, or that's what causes this overthinking energy and that's what this is representing, the never-ending cycle, so not moving backwards, because this is what the Magician is pointing at this card now, and pointing out in the past there's been this energy of being kind of in a mental prison, and having move out of that, and moving out of that energy allows you to let go of this and get the Pentacle, and to have a more youthful attitude. Take the cup, be willing to take the cup from the universe. Sometimes you have to just let go of disappointment, and not overthink it and keep recycling it, because this is talking about the new has come in. Don't slow your progress down by falling back into the old ways. And it's really interesting because I was talking about Neptune and that 165-year journey from Pisces into the energy of Aries, and it fell back, it went retro kind of, and went backwards for a while. So it went back into Pisces after being in Aries, and that really caused a lot. And now just recently it's moved back into Aries, so it's back into innovation, let's go. But it caused a lot of people to kind of doubt themselves whether or not the path they were taking was the necessary one. But it also caused people to do a reality check and make sure that they knew where they were going and got the information to do so. And that's when we have the hangman. That energy is hanging from the tree of knowledge and getting the enlightenment before moving forward with this pentacle. And he's hanging there from the tree of knowledge, and now his intuition, his left leg is tucked behind him and his right leg is forward. And so that's indicating he's looked at this from every angle, which is what the Emperor does. And he's now ready to move this forward. If we take this as a pyramid that's been climbed and we're coming back down, in the past there was this kind of overthinking energy, and then we have in the manifestation row, the potential to be a star, to shine, to be able to bring that energy in. The money is going to be there for it. Put down any burdens from like the past, and don't be fighting over unnecessary things that don't matter. You're in competition with yourself, not with others. Put your attention and your focus to mastering your skill set so that you can have that, and be lighthearted about it. Like, be optimistic, and that pentacle, looking at it and focusing on it, is health, wealth, happiness. And then the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge and is ready to come back, to get off the tree. His head is all lit up. He's got a lot of ideas how to end this energy, not wanting to be in this energy anymore, and have an upgrade in his life, rowing off to calmer shores with the Most High, and understanding that the reality check that has happened in the past has been a blessing rather than a disguise, which this card can show sometimes, because sometimes we need a reality check, and it will really hurt at the time, or it'll be really hard to take at the time, sudden. Both these cards are saying sudden, but that reality check is what allows us to celebrate in a new way, because there's 3 people here, 2 + 3, and that could represent that family energy of being able to move on and benefit themselves and their family and the universe. So we'll just clarify now with my oracle deck, which is talesfromthevector.com. You can go see that there. I did these paintings, 64 of them. I started them in 2007. They're big dragon paintings, and they're from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. At this time, I'm working on bringing them into an actual deck, and I'm working on the information that I want to write up that goes with them. And so I'm playing with cards online now on a larger level, because I do not want to write this book twice. And I want to take this from the bottom of the deck. Yeah, clarifying this card. So yeah, transition. This also came up in yesterday's reading. There's a transition here. It's like the old ways are not going to do anymore. Moving forward, being really strong in competition, not worrying about it, just moving forward and competing with your own last best version of yourself. Yeah, and then the devil energy comes in. So being tempted by the devil doesn't come in and say, oh, look at this horrible things that I'm going to offer you. If you do what I say, then I'm going to give you all this horrible stuff. The devil is basically temptation. So I'm just getting here, it's temptation to quit. Like don't quit right before you're about to achieve results. People quite often think, oh, overnight success is a thing. But if you really look into it, most people that have overnight success have been working on something for a long time. And everything requires, you have to maintain it, and you have to be willing to put the energy into it. It's not about working hard, working smart, and putting your energy into it. When the devil comes up, I just cover it with, cover that energy because the devil usually sends someone in to do the dirty work for him, and you're not going to get the truth from the devil. So I just want to see, like, what is this energy really about? So I'm just getting this as, again, immature energy. Taurus is the toddler and very earth-bound, like very into that energy of the earth. And so is the devil, actually. That energy is part of the Capricorn energy, which is also an earth sign. So it stands, the earth signs are able to bring in the energy to really bring whatever is out there in the universe and bring that down to earth. And it is talking about give and take. And, you know, a toddler will throw a temper tantrum or two, you know, throw themselves down on the floor. I quit. I'm not doing it. And so it's that bull energy. So some people say that's stubborn. But having said that, that energy is also, can be considered perseverance. But you have to master that ability to contain it. And then we have karmic space of jealousy. Yeah, there may be some people, I mean, hey, when you see the Emperor and the Empress together, some people might be really jealous of that instead of inspired. But if you adopt the energy, I'd rather be better than bitter, then you can say, oh, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. I just have to apply myself. And then we have, the Sagittarian energy, which is all about taking action, being willing to travel to new, countries, new cities, being able to go on adventures, allowing that expansion to happen. And the courage to do so is sitting on the Queen of Cups with this. So it's about, what happened is this has been an ongoing process of stepping into this energy and has escalated the people to being able to become, you could be born into being an emperor or an empress, but you can embody that energy of being an emperor and an empress and having all these qualities and really using them. That requires a lot of courage. It requires doing things in new ways and being able to, battle, don't battle about things that are not necessary. Like if it's not necessary, don't get yourself all worked up. And then we have the Aquarius energy coming in. And Aquarius is all about intellect and experimentation and, being able to observe what's going on around you and then looking at the competition and going, oh, okay, they did that really well. But what could I do now that would improve that for me? And how can I authentically bring that into being in my own life and what I'm working on? So learning from the competition instead of competing. And then we have that reality check had come in and there's harmony. So it's about, this is about the throat chakra. This is about being able to say what you want and speak your truth. And then be willing to be able to do that with yourself and with others, which brings in the Earth Star. So Earth Star, these are chakras. The Earth Star is all about this manifestation, and this is in the 3D. And that's really a combination of that strong Taurus Capricorn energy. And then also in combination with the fire. See, these are the elements I'm getting coming up that the Empress and the Emperor have. Like they've got that desire to bring things down to earth. They have an ability to be adventurous. They're willing to experiment. They're willing to observe and learn from it. And they have the courage to move forward. That's 3 chakra cards here. We have the karmic space of anger. So sometimes what happens if things don't go our way, we throw a temper tantrum. And the anger can be generational. It's passed down from one generation to another. And quite often that is something that when we let it go, like the old ways that our family used to do, this is the way it's always been, this is the way it's going to be, and we start recognizing that we want to do things slightly differently or the opposite, whatever it is, that we can let go of any of the angerness that's coming up again. I'd rather be better than bitter. Instead of being jealous of other people's success, learning from it and being inspired by it. And that's when the pride card comes in. Yeah, that's another karmic space. It's really easy to fall into this one. What is it? Pride comes before the fall. This is about being able to persuade, by, there's an easier way to do this. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to put all this energy into it. You don't have to, just do it this way. There's got to be an easier way. And that's, that's that pride thing. And quite often when people are in that energy, it's like all or nothing, and they kind of adopt that attitude. So it's really about opening the mind and using the intuition to be able to really get in this position where not only are you benefiting yourself and your family, but it's a win for the universe as well. And here we have another karmic space. This doesn't surprise me because quite often, like to become an emperor and empress, they've had to deal with these, karmic spaces that we can fall in. It's just, it's an energy of that many people on the planet have several of these, and it comes from the way we're raised and just, our past and just, our thinking, whatever. And so being attached to things and being attached to the old way, it's coming up again, the old way of doing things, it creates this toddler attitude. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. Not wanting to share energy, basically. And also being very attached to the outcome, hanging on to expectations instead of anticipating, hey, how is it going to be if we do it differently like this? And that we have the Lovers card, which is kind of this down here. And we have that, the disappointment. This is now, I just feel like the disappointment's over. They've accepted the cup. This energy is really strong. And the Lovers card is really about choices. It's not, and it's not just about choices about who you're going to be in relationships and romance and that kind of energy, but it's also about what choices you're going to make regarding what you love to do and who you love to be. And then we have dissemination of information. So dissemination of information is just a tactic that people fall into. It's when you start believing in your own press. And the thing is, a lot of times people are told, oh, believe in yourself. But I have noticed that there's a lot of people that have some very limiting beliefs, in particular about themselves. And it holds them back because they actually believe in things that are not, like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do that. And they really believe it. And so sometimes believing in yourself is not the best route to go. We've got the World, so neutrality. And that's what I was just going to say. Getting neutral to extremes, and being in the middle there and neutral. If you're neutral to one extreme or the other extreme, then you can be balanced and neutral in between. And that is, I feel that that's really speaking about this ability to use your intuition as well as your logic to bring things about. Yeah, and destruction. So a lot of times when there's a tower, we'll feel like, oh, like things blew up and it's what a mess, and where's the progress? All my progress is gone. And that's basically what these 3 cups here is saying. The disappointment of things not working out the way you thought they were going to work out. And now what they're finding out is, wow, now we've got the World. Like now I'm neutral to that, and I'm seeing how it's kind of like looking at like this is really interesting. You can actually be jealous of a version of yourself that you used to be. So when things were going really well, and then all of a sudden, boom, it blew up, and you're like, now I wish I was the person I used to be. Having said that, that was limiting you, because like the tower is all about, you know, if you're at the top of the pedestal and you're just sitting there, the universe likes action. So the universe will get you down from that pedestal so that you're going to improve yourself some more. The more each of us improves ourselves within, you know, like by being an authentic self and doing and being what we love, it adds all this beautiful energy to the universe, and it pushes everybody forward in a much stronger way. And we've got the shooting star, yes. So that's talking about all this base root chakra, about having a good attitude. Your attitude will get you everywhere. If you have a bad attitude and you sit there, he could sit under the tree here for months, you know, and no, I'm not taking that. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to be bitter. But, and really, this is the first reading that I've done, you know, in this way for the internet, where I've had so many of the chakra cards coming up. And I feel like that's because of the Emperor and the Empress being in alignment, you know, with their chakras are in alignment also. They've gone inward and they've done the work. And that's required devotion to their purpose, which is why the Wheel of Fortune came in. And that requires patience. It requires patience with yourself. It requires patience with others. It requires sometimes you going inward and letting go of how you thought it was going to be, and just being devoted to improving yourself and being your own best version that you can be now, so that you benefit your partner, you benefit your family, you benefit the universe. I like this. This is a really good reading. I really enjoyed doing this reading with you, and I hope you've enjoyed it also. If you have, please do hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you resonate, and I will be happy to do another reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.